Coming up on this hour of One American News, voters cast their ballots during the last Super Tuesday of the primary season. Details on how the 6 states voting today will help shape the race for the White House. Good evening. It's 9 in the East and 6 in the West. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Pilla. And he did also announce next week he'll be holding a major speech to talk about Hillary Clinton, saying the last thing we need is Hillary Clinton in the White House or an extension of the Obama disaster. So I guess we will see exactly what that speech will be entailing. So continuing with Trump, we bring back in Greta Wallenash-Cargaron. So Greta, there are some newer results. What is the latest? Let's say that Sanders, he claims that he will win the nomination through a transfer of those superdelegates, swaying on his side. How does he plan on doing that? Is that even possible? Well, you know, Donald Trump looks to have been projected the winner in Pennsylvania. So beyond just winning the state, what does he need to do? Both Jen and I will be keeping a close eye on some Senate and House races that are considered battleground. So first up for myself, we're keeping a close eye on Virginia's 10th district. Incumbent Republican Barbara Comstock versus Democrat Lou Ann Bennett.
How's it looking for Rubio?
All right, Mike. Well, currently we're keeping a close eye because it keeps going back and forth. Literally every time I come down to refresh my page, we have different results. Well, considering the collusion efforts by Kasich and Cruz, and then maybe, you know, Pennsylvania, the popular vote went to Trump, but could, like you said, could change at the convention. Well, you talk about his lack of wanting to apologize. Do you think looking ahead for the general election, he's going to have to play to somewhat of a broader audience, that maybe he is going to have to tone back what he says? Even to some of the party elites, you know, they've kind of had to reluctantly put their support behind him. Just Paul Ryan last week decided to come out in support and then sort of had to condemn some of his words regarding Judge Curiel earlier this week.
But when you have those voters, and like we said, things like jobs, trade deals, that really resonated with the voters that Donald Trump talked on his entire campaign speech to voters in those places is jobs and the economy and these trade deals. A lot of people are hurting economically in upstate New York. People are hurting economically in Michigan. We haven't seen Minnesota. Some of these House races are still up in the air. This really resonated with voters. They want to know how they're going to get their job back. Trade deals like NAFTA, things like the TPP that President Obama was for. I mean, these are really detrimental. They're job killers for people in this area.
Well, first of all, is John Hines going to be drinking that pot of coffee you said they were brewing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pass them over here, John. We're going to need it.
Well, Samsung may have no one else to blame but itself for the fire-prone Galaxy 7 smartphone. Thank you for joining us this Sunday on One American News. I'm Sarah Pilla. We're following the sweep of Dallas shooter Micah Johnson's house. And right now we're going to break out of that package before we actually get into it. And we're going to take you live to Michigan, where authorities are giving a briefing on the deadly shooting outside a county courthouse in St. Joseph. Let's listen in. Well, a little history for you. On this day in 1970, the Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup, and one lucky photographer snapped what has become one of the most iconic photos in sports. Welcome back. Banking regulators imposed tighter regulations on Wells Fargo in the wake of the company's fraudulent account scandal. Heavy rain and flooding continues in Florida and surrounding states as Tropical Storm Colin moves past the Sunshine State and back out to sea. Yeah, I think he would retire. I mean, it's the perfect ending to his career. And I think it's tough to really have a case against him that he would be the greatest of all time. Sorry if you disagree, but I think it's tough to make a case against that.
That's a great thing about sports, because you can disagree and still be friends.
And still be friends. It's so different than like politics and stuff, because I feel like at least with sports, it brings people together no matter really how you see the rest of the world. And tonight we finish with this story. This year's Nobel Prize honorees will earn more than $900,000 each. Nominees will be listening for their names in various categories, including medicine, physics, and chemistry, starting Monday. Well, we hope you enjoyed our look back at some of the fun moments that happened in 2015. Here's to another year of wonderful experiences. For One American News, I'm Sarah Pilla.